You also need to update the total price of the cart when the user adds an item. Create a calculate total method in the shopping cart class. So let's check. We have here a class of shopping cart, and we are inside of that class. And inside of that class, we have to create a method named calculate total, parentheses, the curly braces. And now we have defined our method calculate total. And inside the curly braces is where we make the functionalities of our method. And it says in that method declare a variable subtotal. So we write const to declare the name of the variable. What? To declare the variable named subtotal rather. So subtotal. And it says to use the reduce on the items array. So let's call the items. No, items, was it? Oh, it is. So let's call the array items. But since we are inside of a class, we have to use the keyword this in order for us to refer to that specific array, which is the items. So what it basically says is that we are referring to this array or the items, hence these items. To calculate the sum of the price property of each item in the array. So we have to use, we have to call first the array and then we interpolate the method reduce. And a reduce method has a parameter of the accumulator and then the current value. So perhaps let's take a step back and let's talk about the reduce method. So perhaps we have an items here with an element 1, 2, 3, and we accessed rather those elements by writing the items array and then interpolating the method reduce. And we have here the accumulator and then the current value. It should be the parameter. And it should have a callback function. So in that callback function, let's say we return the addition or the sum of accumulator and the current value. So if so if we run this example of a code, it should have an output of 1 plus 2, that would be 3. So we get rid of that. It now have 3. And then the latest output is 3. So 3 plus 3, that would have 9. So from the item, from the elements of the items array 1 to 3, it has reduced to an element 9 because we added the accumulator and the current value. The accumulator would be the initial value, which was the 1, and then the current value would be 3. And the current value would also be the accumulator. So 3 plus 3, that would be reduced to 9. So that is an example of how reduce method is used in JavaScript. And let's get back to our activity. Based on the example, let's try let's try to finish the activity with the instructions. So in our case, our accumulator would be the total, and then the current value would be the item. So we have successfully finished this. In that method, declare subtotal, we did, and use the reduce, we did, to calculate the sum of the price property of each item in the array. So you have to, just like we did in the example, we have to add total and the item. So we have a callback function in here to return the addition of the total and item. And it says to set your initial value in the reduce method. So it should start, so the total should start from 0. That is what this says. So I hope we're right, but we're wrong. Your reduce callback should return the sum of total and item.price. So rather than the item, we have to add the price of that item and use an implicit return. So we have to get rid of the curly braces and then the return, just to automatically return the addition of the total and the price of an item, but starts from 0. So that's it. Nice.